Hey Pipsqueaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miranda. If you're new here, today we're going to be talking about gnomes and fairies. Now before you start to call me crazy, just hear me out, okay? But before we get started, every video we give you guys a shout out. Thank you guys so much for all the comments you leave on every video. It means the world to me. Also, if you haven't checked out my merch and you want to match me, you get a little tumbler that's got my logo on it. All you have to do is click the merch link down below and order you one. So, fairies and gnomes. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Trust me, I thought like that too until I've seen so many people talking about fairies and gnomes. Obviously, we know gnomes, the little guys that sit in your yard. We know fairies, Tinkerbell. But people seem to think they have a little bit more of a meaning than just a little cartoon. First, we're going to be talking about gnomes. A gnome is a mythological creature and a diminutive spirit in Renaissance magic and alchemy. So those are two big words and I didn't know what they were, so I looked them up. Basically, diminutive or diminutive, however you want to say it, just means tiny. Makes sense, right? Then the word alchemy means it's just another word for magic, pretty much. It was first introduced in Europe in the 16th century and later adopted by more recent authors, including those of modern fantasy literature. They are also closely associated with dwarves. I'm gonna make a whole video on that. There's too much for this video to add in gnomes, fairies, and dwarves. So they're just in that realm, keep that in mind. Many believe they have the ability to move through solid earth. They were first mentioned between 1493 and 1541. So you're trying to tell me people have been carrying out this crazy made-up thing since 1493. You'd think people would be like, okay, haha, funny, but no, people still talk about this today. So it makes you curious, doesn't it? Garden gnomes are said to bring good luck. They would often be found in rafters of barns where they would help look over livestock. That was their description. Then I looked up a bunch of facts about gnomes. So here we go. They have a lifespan of 400 years, which if you think about, if they were first mentioned in 1493, add on 400 years, that means we got a new generation of gnomes running around here. Male gnomes always wear red caps, and there are 3 categories of gnomes. There are worker gnomes that carry tools like hammers, fishing rods, things like that. There are at-ease gnomes, which can always be seen carrying a pipe, funny, and cultural gnomes who have instruments in hand and also known as rock stars or rock star gnomes. The world's oldest gnome lives in the UK at age 125 and is worth 2.5 million euros. People must think these things are crazy magical if they've been holding on to them for 125 years and it's worth almost 3 million euros. Gnomes often rub noses, which is essentially how humans handshake, and that is also how they give kisses. Their diets are normally vegetarian. They eat things such as nuts, fruits, mushrooms, veggies, and preserves for dessert. They also drink dew from fermented fruit and honey and top off the night with a spiced gin. How sweet. So, like I said, tell me your thoughts on this down below. I know it sounds crazy. It still does to me too, trust me, but if you really think about Romeo and Juliet, anyone ever seen that movie? Moving on to fairies, just like the one we all know and love, Tinkerbell. A fairy is a type of mythical being or legendary creature found in the folklore of multiple European cultures. Okay, first off, why does everything folklore and mysterious and magical come from the UK or Europe? See, this is where people get me with fairies. If you really think about it, it could make sense. The gnomes obviously could be like a good luck charm, but fairies, just think of them as spirits. I mean, I would rather see a nice pretty thing flying around to be a spirit rather than some guy who got, I don't know, messed up, he looks scary, or I don't know. That's just me. They are tiny, beautiful, human-like creatures, and they sometimes have wings. Fairies likely began as versions of pagan nature gods and goddesses. They are often associated with the outdoors, especially forests, as well as magic and journeys. So then I got to researching. I just looked up what is a fairy, and that's what I found. Then I looked up facts about fairies, and they got millions of colonies of fairies out there, okay? So we're not gonna go through all of them, but mainly there's good versus bad, which if you think about it, good spirits versus bad spirits. I'm telling you, these people got something, okay? The first claim of fairy contact with human was in 1907. Again, that's over 100 years later and we're still carrying this on. I can't see why they would be still doing this for no reason at all. Just me. Their love language, or the language they speak in, is gifts giving. They like to receive gifts as well as give gifts. Their favorite type of gifts are shiny little tiny gifts. Many say if something tiny, little sparkly, obviously something like you see Tinkerbell, what they can carry around, if that just magically shows up, then you might have a fairy on your hands. But they are allergic to iron and they even hide at just the sight of it. There are two different types of fairies, like I was talking about. The Seelie fairies, who are nice and sweet, and the Unseelie, who are nightmarish and malicious. See how, I mean, I might be crazy too, but these people kind of got into my head a little bit. It would make sense if fairies were spirits. I'm not saying I believe in fairies. I'm just saying these people get a point. We're talking about fairies. Do you believe in fairies? Let me know down below. I know if you watch Haley Reese, then you probably believe in fairies. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying it makes sense. Obviously, we would see fairies flying around all the time. Or maybe they're just not around here. Maybe they are from Europe, and that's why we don't ever see them, because that one Nukes Top 5 video we just watched a couple ago, that guy was exploring in the woods looking for them, which if that's where they came from, is the woods. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you like this video. It was a little break from ghosts and spooky. Let me know if you like that, and also let me know what you would want me to talk about next time, like facts about werewolves, vampires, gargoyles, random creatures like that. That's on my list to talk about, but let me know if you actually want to see that. And yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on social so we can become friends, and I will see you guys next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!